follow my socials.
Hi beautiful people, November 24th, valkerie. Harem with action and comedy. Oh, the love of light spoilers. Pretty designs, some distortion in the production, but the story is the actual problem. This idea would be pretty standard for any harem, but the execution is just lazy. But let's go step by step. The episode starts more focused on the comedy, and it's not that bad. It's a little too tropey, but it's not horrible. Of course, this is a matchy, which means we're going to have that kind of joke. But then the comedy dies down because they want to tell the story, and the story is not that well developed. In fact, when they actually stop and say, this is the story, the episode is over. And if on one hand I liked the comedy in the beginning, it dies. So I have to think they knew it was going to be too much effort to do it the whole episode. And that's where the danger lies. You have a formula, you want to follow the formula, but you don't want to put in any effort. That's what makes a bad anime. That's why I have Corpse Party here. This is one of the most exploitive covers I have seen. Another one is Amazing Muchachos. You don't have to avoid this completely, but you don't have to be completely exploitative, but let the rocks roll. The laziness happens on how you do things. Somebody decides on the script that there's going to be a moment where he sacrifices himself to save her. That doesn't mean it's going to be good or bad. It depends on how you do it. And then you think, but that's not impossible. No, it's not impossible. But then this building that's falling over them has to fall slower so they can actually get past it, so they are not caught by something more serious. But then we have to have a blade of glass that's still intact enough to snap and throw a dagger on his back. Because if he got his foot stuck on a heavy boulder, that's too much work. But the idea is that she is one of the Valkyries and she gets power by being in love. Let's leave the original tradition to the side because they must be aware that this is not the original version. There's nothing Norse in the Val X Love, so that's not the problem. The problem is that this notion that she has to date to have power, which is not a bad premise for a hentai, it's a bit too much for an ecchi, but we're getting there. She, who hates him for being a coward, now sees that he's brave, so accepts him. Trope, but no matter. But she goes from, I don't even want to spend any time with him, to, I'm going to get almost naked and put his hand on my breasts. And the kiss is the major thing. No. You can have the erotic as your idea, and you can have the romantic as your idea, and you can have both. But they are not the same thing. The way that is said, her holding hands with him walking on the street would release some power, and the kiss releases power, but the hand on the breast is not as big? No. I know that the Japanese idea of relationships confuses the two things a lot, especially the way it is portrayed by the media, but you're telling me that you don't see this as being more than a kiss? Or are you considering all one thing and you don't realize that they skipped the step of the kiss and... And that's what I mean. If you have an idea of a system that's going to work that way, it's not going to ignore these things. The laziness gets to the point that you see the production just leaving things on the lap, because it's just an ecchi production. If the eraser rolled down there, it was going to catch the skirt. Oh, it's a small detail. No, because she would probably have felt this. This is them forcing the joke. The same way that there is no reason for her to be like this, like it's a hot day on any given ecchi. She's like this because they thought, this is an ecchi, we can put whatever we want. Her shorts are going to fall at any time because it's an ecchi, they can put whatever they want. And that's a problem for me. It's a problem for me because you're doing what a hentai does, but you're never going as far as a hentai goes. But that's it. What did you think of this anime? Leave it in the comments and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
And if you enjoyed it, please like, share with your friends, subscribe, and don't forget the bell.